Hello and welcome to GPTV on the most delightful Tuesday, the 30th of July already. My name's Philip Kingston.
I'm Gary Peer.
Can you believe another month just bang?
It's quick.
Well, you probably wouldn't have noticed it. I'm just going to cut right across you because you haven't been in Australia for the month of July.
You know what? I've been very effective working away. You know, I've been on my international desk, Phil.
Yes, and speaking of that, how many emails did you get down to? Because if you're going to go away on holidays, real estate agents go away on holidays and they fight their inbox. Yeah, and I think you went away at 300.
Yeah, I got to 70 at one stage, which is pretty good for me.
Yep.
But I've got to tell you, I've never had better working conditions because I was just in a room on my own for 2 days. That was pretty good, Phil.
In Bali. Yes.
It was in Bali, but that's okay.
So in a room, what, just a dark room?
It wasn't dark, there was some lighting there, Phil, but it was pretty good. And, you know, and I've been very busy, and I'd like to say very productive, Phil, but not as productive necessarily as the team have been in terms of their auctions. Wow. Because how about it? Another 100% week. I think it's better if I'm away. I think I'm just going to stay away, Phil. I'm going to stay away.
Maybe.
I'm going to stay.
Maybe.
Everything should be as it is. Stay away. I'm not going to get my hair cut because I think it's better long, and I'm just going to keep relaxing.
Speaking of your hair, if you were to turn around on camera now, you know Julius Sumner Miller, who we have have referred to on a number of occasions. We might get a photo of him up. I reckon the back of your head with that curly hair that looks like it's sprouting from your back.
Yeah. There's something happening there. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at it. I'm a bit scared.
I think in Bali, that old, it might have, if you'd gone to a bar in Bali with that look, you might have got arrested.
Just for the look.
Just for being there, looking like that old guy at the bar.
I'd like some viewer feedback. I think long hair's coming back in fashion.
Oh, it is, absolutely. But curly grey hair emanating from the back that looks like it's popping out.
There are some people who are brilliant in the world with curly grey hair.
As I say, in a bar in Bali, you would probably get arrested, particularly if you were there on your own.
Au contraire, my friend, I think I'm celebrated there.
I want to take issue because let's move on from your lack of personal hygiene.
It's not a hygiene, it's just
it looks like a hygiene issue.
It's a genuine
I want to move on. I'm going to take issue with a guy that's no longer watching the show because 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago,
talked about this with Sally last week.
This gentleman sent I wouldn't have said the most polite email.
It was scathing.
Because I'd referred the headline of the week that you'd gone away said,
did the
market 10% increase? Did that just happen?
Exactly right.
Anyway, literally a couple of days later, this lovely gentleman emailed us in with a scathing email which said basically misleading, deceptive.
Get me off your duck. I don't want to hear from you
Take
anymore.
us away.
Sick of you guys with your lies and embellishments.
If that guy was watching and if he'd come to a number of our auctions, I reckon, Gary, it's looking like it might have.
I tell you what, Phil, you don't want to make those sweeping statements. We can put them as a headline for the GPTV announcement, but I agree with you. It has recovered big time. Now, Leon, in the meeting yesterday, said, listen, this is what's going on, guys. Here's the facts on the ground. He did an analysis of all auctions from May to June, or the last 100 auctions. He said clearance rate was 78%.
That's selling before or at auction.
He didn't split the two, but selling before or at auction. And since then, another 16% have sold. We're at 94%, Phil, with other properties still in motion.
Yes.
That's as good a clearance rate as you get any time.
I'm going
to as you would say yourself, depth of buyers.
Depth of buyers.
I think it's a good comment. Depth of interest, multiple bidders. I'm seeing this, Phil. This is what I'm seeing.
You're not seeing anything because you haven't been here.
And my eyebrows are hard to see through, but I'm seeing this, Phil. I'm seeing three things.
Hang on, sorry. A bird just flew out.
Exactly right. This is what I'm seeing, Phil. I'm going to give it to you. The three things I'm seeing. The first thing is vendors have accepted.
First thing you're seeing is the breakfast buffet.
Exactly right. It's pretty good, all sorts of flavoured yogurt there.
The second thing is you're seeing the second plate of croissants. What's the third thing? Come on.
The banana smoothie. Okay, so now what I'm seeing, Phil, is I'm seeing this. I'm seeing vendors have accepted the market.
Yes.
Prices have come back. So they're not saying anymore, I want August 2017 prices, because they're not going to get those. They've come to terms with it. First, I'm seeing acceptance. The second thing I'm seeing is buyers are ready to jump in, and they are there in volume. Make no mistake about that, Phil, and viewers. The buyers are out there. And the third thing we're seeing, which is making massive impact, is we are actually seeing the bank now relaxing a little bit. The Royal Commission's gone away, and they're starting to give money out, which they need to do, Philip.
To give money out.
They're giving it out.
Okay.
They're giving it out. It's falling from the sky.
Just,
well, not quite,
just so
they're
I
giving
can,
money
just
out.
so I can just take a little bit of the spin out of this, because most of it you've said is absolutely correct. The banks aren't free flowing yet, but there is no question they're feeling the pressure now to relax their lending standards. They went from the sublime to the ridiculous. Now the pendulum's got to swing back a little bit. But to the man that's no longer watching this show because he's unsubscribed,
can we abuse him now?
Yeah, well, we may name and shame him. But the reality is, Gary, I met, and a shout out to Don from South Caulfield.
Oh yes, Don is good.
So Don, we had an auction in Ludbrook. We had an auction.
He watches the show.
We had an auction in Ludbrook Avenue on the weekend, to which we sold it for about 6% over the reserve when it was declared on the market, not 10% to the fellow that's no longer watching. But Don came up at the start of the auction and he said, because Don goes to a lot of auctions, not just ours, to the other people's auctions as well. And Don said this to me. He said, Philip, in the last 6 weeks, he said, numbers of people attending auctions, which is always the first barometer.
I agree.
He said, his words, not mine, up by 300%. As far as he's concerned, 300%. He reckons the crowds
are 300%.
No, he says the crowds are 3 times bigger than this time last year. And I reckon he's right. He's right.
Property
Thanks,
is
Don.
back. We were on the nose a little bit, property, but we're back, and we never gave up on it, Phil. We always believed in it, as we do. I'm going to do something I think's never been done before. I haven't prepared you there.
Okay.
I'm going to talk
You're going to show us. You're going to take your shirt off, turn around, exactly right. And we'll shear you.
Look, now, let me just talk to you about that. Okay?
Yeah.
Chest wax?
I haven't waxed, but I've used a little electronic.
How often are you at the hairdresser?
Tumour. Every 2 weeks. Every Thursday, 10 o'clock.
That's amazing. Isn't it? So between the two of us, we're doing really well from a hygiene and point of view of that. I'm going to talk to you about something that's never been done before. I'm going to bring a new thing. I'm going to talk about the characters at auctions.
The characters at auctions. So we're going to have a characters at auctions segment.
I'm going back to my phone.
I actually think that would be really great.
No, this is because these are the people you can expand on it. I'm going to bring to you.
Yes.
The first person is the advice giver.
Advice giver.
So these are the people that you're going to find at auctions when you go. And now coming into spring soon, people are going to be at more auctions. So there's an advice giver. So what will happen is there's an auction, there are two parties, and there'll always be someone that go, why don't you just make a knockout bid? You know, that person that just bid 5,000. So I love the advice giver. One of my favourite people at the auction. And now people who are watching the show
the other advice
are going to start looking at
I love the person that says, you started too high, you started too low.
Exactly right.
And sometimes when I've really crack the proverbial with them. I'm normally cool, Gary.
Yeah, you are.
I've been known to.
He's got a nasty temper.
I've been known to say to the person that says you started too high, you started too low. I've been known to say to them, just out of interest, how many auctions so far have you performed in your life?
Exactly right. Well, let's talk about that. So number one, and I want this to be, sort of put down with a one and a little bit of a note on the screen now.
Yes.
We've got the advice giver. So I love the advice giver. The other person I'm going to talk about at every auction is the knock it down person.
Yeah, knock it down already.
Knock it down already, right?
Yeah.
Knock it down already.
Yeah.
Of course, our favourite line to that person is?
So when I'm doing an auction for you, I can either give you a slow auction or a fast one. Which would you prefer?
Exactly right. But there's the knock it down person.
Yeah, knock it down already.
And there's people that get nasty about it too.
Indignant.
They get like, what are you doing? Knock it down, right? So that's always interesting. There's the huffer and puffer.
The huffer and
puffer, the angry person.
You've put some thought into
this. I did it. I worked it out in the shower. I get some great inspiration.
In Bali, over the 3-hour buffet.
So you're okay with going back now?
Clearly ate.
A couple of weeks, Oh, thanks for that. There is the huffer and puffer, but we don't know why. So there's always someone at the auction you look at and they'll go, oh, and you don't know why, what they're upset about, but there's the pissed off person, if I can use that expression.
Yeah.
The huffer and puffer also there. You're going to see them in auctions. Watch out for them. Then there is also the no person, right?
Right.
And I've got to tell you,
this is a long segment.
There's only two more left. There's a no person, and they'll just go like that. You don't know why. Have you seen that person? You know what I'm talking about. There is the no person. They're just like that. There was one time where you addressed someone and it was not funny. It was actually very sad because the person had something wrong with them and you were looking at them and they were going like that and you thought that they were upset, but they actually weren't well. So, but that's a mistake for the no person.
Whoever that person was, I sincerely apologise.
The no person,
I actually love people and I just want to be loved.
Yes.
So
then there's two more left, Philip. Then there is the bid spotter. Right?
Yeah.
You know the bid
See,
spotter?
I love the bid spotter because it's like pantomime.
Yeah. It's like
and when the bid spotter goes there,
pantomime,
I'll pretend, you know, when you went to the pantomime.
Yeah, it's behind you.
So I clearly just ignore it. And I'm going,
that's right.
so what?
In the meantime, someone's sneaking up with a knife from the pantomime. Yeah. So it's like, it's the bid
For all
spotter.
our viewers under the age of 45 who've got no idea what a pantomime is.
Yeah, you missed out in life. But the bid spotter, I love it. So you'll have an auction, you'll have 5 agents, someone will be bidding in the corner, and you'll see it, and strategically you might just hold it because you're on a panda, and then someone will go, look over there, look, they're bidding, you know. So I love the bid spotter, and then there's the crowd favourite as well.
Yeah.
And there is the crowd favourite.
There's always a crowd
There's
favourite.
a crowd favourite. We had one in Alma Road, remember, there was 2 women bidding together. And everybody loved those. And somebody came at the end of the auction and bid, and everyone looked at them like they wanted to move. How can you come and bid? It's their house now. So you've got the crowd favourite. So as you go through auctions and as you watch them, you're going to find those people and you're going to say, I remember on GPT, it was an exclusive, the auction characters. And don't we love them?
So viewers, stay tuned because I'm working on this at the moment.
Yeah, you like that?
No, I'm telling you what I'm working on.
Okay.
Love Broadway, absolutely love Broadway. Love musical theatre. And
you like the ballet too?
I do like the ballet.
Won't get me there.
But I'm working on a musical called Gary Peer and Associates, the musical. So
I think you should
hold on to that.
That sounds great. The musical's coming. Phil, let's just wrap some of our auctions up. Moody Street. We had a block of flats and that went good.
It actually went
real good.
10% over the reserve.
Oh, that man would be back maybe if he heard that.
Exactly.
Say we're not embellishing.
In fact, I'm going to ring that bloke and say, listen, come out with me on the weekend. Come and sit in my car. I'll drive you from auction to auction to auction.
Why not?
We'll have a serious chat. Let me win you back to the man that's not watching.
Exactly right. That's not interested. That's a complete. Anyway,
Can you see how personally, like we ask for viewer feedback.
So I was really give it to us.
I was talking about
we can't handle the truth.
Well, that's exactly the case. We kind of generously ask for viewer feedback, but if we get any negative feedback, we we can't take the criticism.
Right. But give it to us anyway.
We just want to be loved.
Exactly right. So desperately.
Behind this facade, this
of confidence and
steel facade of staring down the camera now, essentially. I'm insecure.
Yeah, and we just want to be loved and want a big hug. I'll give you one off screen, Phil. Moody Street sold for $2,786,000. Tell us about that property.
Block of 5 apartments, Gary.
Yep.
So that was our 72nd block of apartments that we've sold. And I just want to boast now for a moment because I'm very proud of it. The average real estate agent in Melbourne in their career might sell one block of apartments.
What are you saying to them, Phil?
Well, I'm not saying anything to them, but I'm just so proud of the fact that we've developed this market niche. 72nd. Jeremy Rosen's, by the way, has just listed our 73rd, the most incredible block of apartments in Hewenden Road, St Kilda East. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. What were we talking about?
I can't remember. About the block of flats in
Anyway, it went really well. 4 apartments, 2 2-bedders, 2 3-bedders and a single-storey villa at the front. Went really well on a great parcel of land, Moody Street in Caulfield East.
Like you said to Sally Zellman last week, it's a show about nothing really, isn't it? But there is some real estate.
She was great on GPTV, I don't mind saying.
I reckon it'd be good if I came back with her.
I've got to tell you that one of the best parts about it does not have a hairy neck.
Is that right?
And it's really,
you know what, Phil? I'm a man, mate.
It's
disgusting.
It's okay.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's actually nice. It's actually something to grab onto there, Phil.
Yep.
37
goes to show that I think your neck actually does prove the Darwinian theory that we have evolved from apes.
Well, let's
So for those people that don't believe in the Darwinian theory, give us a call. Come over. Shave his neck.
Listen, between the two of us, we go twice a week to the hairdresser. It's okay. I just think I get the raw end of the clippers there, Phil. 37 Ludbrook Avenue. Price is not undisclosed. Sold for $1,240,000.
Yes.
Well done.
Yep. And that lovely couple that lived there, they've been there for 44 years. In their 80s, both delightful people going off to an aged care home, which is independent living, to which they're quite excited about. So good on them for their next chapter.
Hey, Beltane Avenue. Lots of competition on that one. Tell us through that.
Thumper there, Gary. Single-story villa, one of only 2, no common area and no party wall. Reserve is $800,000 and sold, I can't even remember the number, but well into the 9s, wasn't it?
It did, Phil, but sold for $987,000. We're talking pretty close to $1 million.
Wow, so the man that's not watching that has no idea, reserve was $800,000, sold for almost $1 million. That's almost 25% over the reserve.
Imagine if you heard that, he'd probably keel over and die. It's better for his health if he's not watching.
Correct.
Hill Street, well, that was undisclosed. But how about Inkerman Street on Sunday, Philip? Sold, and again, very competitive. Jeremy Rosens, and we talked about in our sales meeting yesterday.
We did. Shout out to Nikki Janover, who sold this property together with Lamore.
Yeah, and Lamore.
But the reality is that I think that we thought the reserve was going to be around 500. What do we get for that?
Well, Philip, it's sold for 571 at 250. And I'm just looking at my notes here, Philip, which is very unprofessional, I know, but there was 4 bidders on it.
Yes.
It was very competitive, and well done to Jeremy Rose, who did a great job.
And I think the point that we made in our sales meeting yesterday, viewers, is that whether it's an apartment or a house or a parcel of land, we think everything has moved. And of course, we didn't even put up the towers yet, Gary.
Oh, come on.
The towers, bring on the towers. The industry average, 74%. Gary, Peer and Associates coming in with not 70, not 80, not 90, but 100%.
Bang. There go the towers. We've done it again a second week in a row.
And this time we did it out of 7
with
auctions.
A bit of volume.
Not out of 1 auction.
If you don't mind. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm saying another comment. I'm going to make another sweeping statement.
Sweeping statement.
Flats are back. I know you don't like calling them flats, but only because it matches the statement, flats and backs. They kind of,
apartment. Nothing rhymes with apartments.
Not really, no.
You can think of something that rhymes with apartments. Let us know. Viewer feedback.
That sends the message through. Phil, flats are back, and they're doing real well.
Real well.
Yeah, they are. No, they are.
What? I've noticed that your grammar is actually deteriorating.
My grammar's got
a lot of people. We've got a lot of educated people like Professor Norman that watches this show.
Professor Norman would he'd want me to go right through the school system again.
It's not real good. It's really good.
Yeah. Okay. Phil,
Scrabble player. I'm surprised you don't know that, Gary.
I do know it, but I like to have some fun, Phil. I know it annoys and agitates you. It's one of the great joys I have in life. Phil, Carinia Crescent, second auction.
Yep.
Sold. See you later.
And I've got to tell you a really interesting story there, Gary. We had the buyer of the second auction was at the first auction, but had only recently joined the market. Wasn't quite sure of the situation or their situation.
Yes.
We negotiated with them.
They had an interest before auction in buying it, Philip, but they came to the auction.
You're talking about the second auction?
Yes, I am talking about the second auction. They came after the first auction, had an interest in buying before the second auction.
They were at the first, Gary. Listen, you've been away for most of the year, right?
Those
mojitos. In the real world, feet on the ground, workers. The buyer was there during the first campaign, negotiated with us after the auction of the first auction, maintained their interest. The second auction, again, they were there. This time there was somebody bidding against them. They ended up buying the property for a small amount over what the original pass-in was.
Right.
And they are very, very happy. They've bought a great property. Congratulations to the vendors and to the buyer. And here's a quick glimpse of what the vendors had to say about Sally.
Really happy with the results today. It's been wonderful working with Sally Zellman and all the team at Gary Peer. Thank you so much.
She's a legend.
Well, we love a happy vendor, Philip, and well done to buy and sell alike. And well done to all of our sales team who had such a great week out there. And so did our clients that were selling with us. Phil, this we have to do because we have a throwaway to Jeremy Rosens because he's waiting in a house now.
Well, let's just quickly say, let me introduce the home. We've got this fabulous home
in
Alma
a house
Road,
of the week,
on the corner of Marlborough Street, Gary.
It's a Marlborough country, Phil.
Beautiful property, and Jeremy is standing by as we speak. Jeremy, what can you tell us about this property?
Yep, we're live. Got you. Hey guys, welcome live via satellite, 309 Alma Road in the heart of Caulfield North. A beautifully renovated home under the guidance of architect Charles Justin. 4 bedrooms, multiple bathrooms, a gorgeous entertainer's home. You're going to love this one. Going to auction in a few weeks' time. This one ticks all the boxes. Last week, my sporting ability was brought into question. Just thought I'd give something for the viewers, Gary and Phil. Oh, clean as a whistle.
Jeremy, you've always been an incredible sports person, but there's no question when we get to edit the video and you take 12 shots to get that through.
Is that what happened?
Come on.
I presume so, yeah.
Clearly. Just goes to show.
By the way, he is a cheeky boy. I think it's good to give it back to him a little bit from time to time as well. You probably learnt it here.
Just so the viewers know, clearly that was his 12th effort in getting that. And we spliced all of that together. So I actually think, Gary, Donald Trump is right. Everything is fake news today. Everything.
Right.
I mean, that just proves that Donald Trump nailed it.
Well, and Boris now is the
president.
Well,
what are we thinking
and
about
I got to say,
that?
I think we should go and find the episode. I want to go and find the GPTV episode where we laughed when Donald Trump was going to run for presidency. And Boris Johnson, at that time, we said, could you imagine these two guys with their wild yellow hair going to be, and I don't know if you've seen the snap that's around, I might be able to show it, but there's doing the salute. there is Donald Trump,
yeah,
and then there is Boris Johnson, and then there's Fred Scuttle, which is Benny Hill's character. So very funny.
And also,
anyway,
there was a great cartoon, and we should try and find it in the Herald Sun a couple of days ago, with both Boris Johnson and Donald Trump in a nappy, right, looking like each other, and completely spitting the dummy, both of them.
In London, they have that big the big baby in nappy image that flies around.
Yeah.
Anyway, Phil, let's talk about this week and our auctions, Philip. Very busy.
How many have we got,
Lots
Gary?
happening. Many people on the road. Does not describe us, Philip. We've only got 2 auctions. I'm going to be auctioning in Hawthorn, and I'm excited, Phil. At 10:30 a.m, I'm going to be going to the beautiful suburb of Hawthorn, to Hawthorn Grove.
This would be your first auction in a while, wouldn't it?
Well, not a while, but certainly I'm going to be donning my magnificent glowing barley tam there, Philip.
Just out of interest,
excited,
will you be going to the hairdresser this week?
Yeah, I'm going to go and clean it back a little bit,
Good.
Phil. I think I should. Why don't you take this week off, and I'll do it.
Between us,
we've spent a lot of time there.
Just out of interest, does your hairdresser walk into the room in a Hazchem outfit?
Yeah, they do have that yellow gear on with the goggles,
and the boots.
The boots, they do, they do, and they have a bit of a crew around them as well. No, I'm going to
put up the signs, Hazchem.
They do put some of those signs up, Philip. They need to be careful, but anyway, this is a fantastic town residence, Philip, in one of the most incredible streets in the entire of Melbourne, entire city of Melbourne.
Big statement.
It is, but Philip, we're talking about blue chip real estate. We're talking about the most magnificent property in Hawthorn Grove.
Yep.
And Philip, we're talking about a property also that's got 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a double garage, Philip. It's got a north-facing rear aspect, and it is beautiful property. Come along to that auction at 10:30. Philip, we're then going to be in Coorga Road in Carnegie. We're going to get Leo Samuel auctioning that one together with his brother Aviv, and that property is a 2-bedroom property, Philip. 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 part.
You know, Gary,
space,
because we're using
and
the
it's
green
1:30
screen.
PM.
It's actually behind us, and you're
I
not
know
meant to be looking at the paperwork.
but they were
bear with Gary. He's out of touch.
But they are clever enough.
Stale.
But they are clever enough to cut away and show images without the green
No.
screen.
That's the whole point of.
Yeah, I know.
The point of the green.
But we
why
can
do you
still
spend? Why do you think we spent $80,000 on that green screen?
I just thought it was for effect because I quite like the colour green, Phil.
One quick thing: if the viewers are off to Bali, to the Seminyak area, your one go-to restaurant that you like the most.
Bikini, Philip.
Bikini?
Oh,
yep.
fantastic.
Okay.
Bikini is just fantastic.
All right, that's
one of the best restaurants.
That's the tip, viewers. If you happen to be off to Seminyak, if you have to be off to Bali, go to Bikini.
Well, I did go this time. I went with my daughter to the memorial there.
One.
I think it's not a restaurant. It's actually a memorial for where the bombing was. It was very, very moving and a very, very beautiful homage to all those people.
A lot of controversy around that site now, Gary, because they're the owner of that site has been trying to develop it, and there's been a whole there's a whole groundswell movement about that should be a memorial peace park.
Yes,
and I think the jury's still out on what's actually going to happen to it. But
interesting discussion and something worth seeing if you want to go there and pay homage and commemorate those fallen.
Let's talk about where this market's going to from here. There's a lot of people. Every single person is asking us what is our prognosis moving forward. I'm going to make a statement, Gary, about where I think the market's going to go to over the next 12 months. I don't see a real estate boom unfolding in front of us, but I do see that prices have already moved. I think this market is going to gather momentum. Does that mean another 10% increase? Maybe over time, but what we are clearly seeing is buyers are back and they're hungry to buy properties. There's not a lot of stock on the market, so if you are thinking about selling this year, and I say this year, Gary, because if you list today, you're going to be auctioning now in September.
October,
so in a heartbeat, we'll be auctioning in November. The year's actually, in real estate speak, it's coming to a conclusion. You've still got time.
You still do have time. I agree with a lot of that.
That sentiment.
No one will probably believe either of us, but that is a good summation of the market, and that's a big wrap on a big week on GPTV. It's good to be back here with you, Phil, even though Sally did such a superb job in my absence. Look forward to bringing the news in our August edition next week on GPTV. I'm Gary Pearce.
I'm Philip Kingston. Have a fantastic week.